view the details. Okay, once so at the end of the session, I'll give you the reporting details.
Okay.
So you click on SQL worksheet. So yesterday we were discussing about the string-based functions. So today we will speak about mathematical functions.
Okay.
So it is simple here. Like I'll try to introduce you how what happens. So you can see the previous sessions. So I have used some few months ago, and some of them years ago. You can click on the session, and then you should be able to see what has been done on that particular session. So this way, you need not actually go ahead and save anything. So I can see everything, whatever I have done, which means whatever I execute, I can see. This is good thing, right? So as in, even if you do something, you need to store in some place, sort of. Here I need not do anything. I just need to save that particular section. So I'm going to this worksheet. So let me run something like Zaref. I can hit run. It shows the output here, and I can download the output also. It is as simple as like what yesterday I have shown you, right? So it is similar to that one. So now, so today mathematical functions we are going to see, right? So let's suppose I'll have few values. So let me create a table. I did not even introduce you with creating table, right? So let's see. So create table followed by the name of the table. I will use something like st. Okay, maybe yeah. Employee, and then employee attributes I need to specify. One is employee ID. Then employee ID you can either specify integer or depending on your requirement. If you are storing only a numeric thing, you can go ahead with integer. If you are using some string, then you need to use. Then you need to use varchar, and depending on the length you need. So now integer means you need not specify the length like this. Integer means integer. Decimal you can specify. Even if you don't specify, that takes by default. Integer you need not specify. Let's suppose I have something called salary. I can specify float, or I can specify decimal, or I can specify integer. Usually it will be decimal. You can give 19 is the maximum value, 38 is the maximum value. So, so there are two attributes when it is decimal or float. One is scale and another is precision. So as in how much is your integer part number can hold, how many fractions it can hold. So I can hold up to 6 fractions. As in 6 fractions means after dot, it can have up to 6 digits. So that is the main significance of comma 6. So let me try to run this one. So table got created. Let me try to insert into this table. Insert in that. Okay. So I have introduced about table creation. Copy that. So dropping table means drop table, and I can give the name of the table. So what happens is drop table, if you try to access the table, now you will not be able to see anything. It will say object does not exist because it was dropped, auto committed. So rather I use truncate table. If I am going fast, you tell me. I'll try to.
Yeah, sure.
So when I truncate the table, it says table truncated, which means the action is successful. If I try to do select star from employee, I should be able to see that as a no data found. It doesn't say that okay, no table found.
Okay.
It says no data, means
Okay.
structure exists, but data does not exist. So there is a lot of difference. When you drop table, the structure also gets deleted
Okay.
and it is committed. When you truncate, only the data gets deleted, and also it will release the memory, whatever is consumed by that table. So now there are two ways of inserting data. I don't know if you are familiar with both of the techniques, but I'll introduce you. Insert into employee. I am not specifying columns, but I will be able to insert. Integer, I need to specify an integer. And the second number is the salary. I can give something like 86.
Okay.
It will insert without any issues. You can ask me, we did not specify the columns, how it inserted. I'll do this way. So this is one way, right? I'll do like this. EMPID and then salary. One row inserted. Let me give salary. Here is the fund. Invalid identifier.
Identifier.
When you specify the column should be present in the table.
Okay.
And there is another thing. If you don't specify the column list. I have two columns in my table. I am giving 3 values.
Okay.
Too many values.
Too many values.
Why? It is expecting only 2.
Okay.
If you don't specify the list, then it goes by the number of columns. And I need to explain this thing also. Whenever you are specifying the main intention of column list is main purpose 200.67. So here what happens is, let me show you. I inserted with the salary in the beginning and then your employee ID in the second column. Select star from employee. See what happens. See, the first part is okay. The third part is also okay. If you see here, I gave, if I go back, I gave 200.67. Why it is 201? And that too, my intention was to populate in salary. Why it is populating in employee ID? Did you realize why it was populating in employee ID? And also it removed. There are two observations you need to observe here. One is our expectation is it should be populated in salary. It did not populate in salary. And the second observation is it is not populating the value what we have inserted. It have populated something else.
Yes.
Go ahead now. Now, what is your explanation for that?
Actually, you have to specify the order, like the first one should be the ID and then it should be followed by the salary. The order is more important. That's what I think.
Correct. Why? Okay, that is partially. 90% I agree with that explanation. What about 201? Why when we gave an 200.67, why it is showing 201?
Maybe it's the column data type is not decimal. It converted into integer.
Exactly right. Exactly. It converted, since it is an integer field, it converted into integer. So another observation is when you don't specify the columns here, it goes by the order of the column.
Okay.
It goes by the order of the column. It will not think, okay, this is a decimal, it should go to decimal column. This is an integer, it should go to decimal column. It does not have that understanding. If you want to do in any of the order, then you need to specify, okay, first value I am giving is salary and second value I am giving is employee ID. Okay. You explicitly say so that it will understand.
Okay.
Now I should be able to see without any issues. See fourth entry.
Yes.
So when you explicitly say no matter the column occurrence in the table, you can insert into any column. The thing is, the column order and value order should match. So if you specify employee ID in the first position, you need to give employee ID value in the first. If you give something else, again, it is not going to do any serve any purpose. So I can say that what I'm saying is, so if you are specifying the column list, but if you don't specify it accordingly, then it is not going to serve the purpose.
Yes.
So if you see here, same result.
Yes.
So were you familiar with this thing previously, as somebody told, without column list, what exactly?
No, no. Actually, that is a new thing for me. If you're not giving the column list, what will happen is new thing for me. I didn't even know that without giving column names, you can insert. Usually, I'll give the column and then I will give the values.
And another thing is, you need not specify all the columns.
Okay.
That you know.
Yeah, if you're not specifying the particular column, that null value will be inserted into that column.
Perfect.
Okay.
Now I will delete the data.
Can you show me how null will be inserted? Because I never tried to
Sure. No problem. I can show you that. And I can show you the constraints also.
Okay.
I think we should have dealt about constraints and stuff even before going to the function. So I think let's pause that functions part. So let's see about constraints and stuff. Then we will come about functions later once this is done. I should have shown you this thing. So now you want to see, right? So insert. Let me clean the data first.
Okay.
I am deleting. I'll do select star from employee. I told only DDL is auto commit.
Yes.
No data found, it says, right? You deleted.
Yes.
Here, this session is auto commit. This is what I was saying. So, there are certain things which will commit by default. So, you need to disable those things.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting a call. That's okay. No problem. No, I'm not attending it. It's a.
So you want to see about null, right? Insert into employee.
Yes.
I specify. I don't want to insert the salary.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Here it is showing hyphen, but it is null. So I can show you. It is displaying, right?
Yes.
I kept, this is a filter. If I say is not null, it will not display. Because I don't have any data where salary is not null. This data, though you are seeing hyphen, it is not hyphen. So this is no value.
No value. Okay.
So if you do it in SQL, it will not show like this, SQL developer. If you do it in the command prompt, when you use delete from table name, it will not commit it also.
Oh, okay.
So this is the thing. So how to add, see, I created a table. Now how to add a primary key to the table. I want to make employee ID as a primary key. And I want to, tell me two things. I want to add a column, employee name, to my table employee. How to do?
You can alter the table, like alter table, table name, table name, And then you have to specify the column.
No.
Set. No, set.
You need to use a keyword called add.
Oh, okay, sorry. Then,
Now you should be able to see that column, but it gets added at the end. So you did not provide any value. So it was having
yes.
null value. And in the let me how to drop the column. You have some column, but you don't want it. You don't want this employee name anymore. How to do it? You want to see only employee ID and salary.
For that also you have to alter the table, but you have to use like a drop. No, delete. No, I don't know. Sorry, this is a new
So that
thing
is
for
correct. No, perfect. No problem. That is drop only, not delete. Drop only. Correct. You try that itself is sufficient for me, so that when you speak something, it gives me confidence that at least something is getting into it.
Okay.
I want you to think that. Alter table employee, drop column. What type of thing you want to drop? Is it constraint? You should specify drop column, EMP name. You need not specify the data type and stuff.
Okay.
Table alter. Now if you see, you will not have that column. Why I dropped, I'll let you know now. When I am adding, I need not specify add column. I can just say add column varchar 2 of 100. I can specify some default value. Default. So to our existing data, what happens is wherever previously entered data, it will have a name.
Okay.
Sometimes, so your salary instead of hyphen, default value would make some sense, right?
Yes.
You can say that. Table modify existing column. We did not drop, we did not add. Modify column and decimal of 19,6 alt I need not specify column.
Okay.
Now when I say why it is not showing anything? Because it was already having null value. It is not a new value. So now if I try to add insert into employee EMP ID value 2. Now you see what happens. That is the reason why I have shown you two things. One is when you add a new column, you see now.
Yes.
So when you add a default value, it will not impact to the existing data.
Okay.
So here, while creating itself is specified. So it does not have any value. So it is populating and not applicable. Here you have already have some null. So it will not replace. But whatever you are newly inserting, that will be taken care. You understood the purpose of default value?
Yes.
Yeah, you are saying something.
Hello?
This is fine, right?
Yes.
So we have seen how to add a column, how to drop a column, how to modify the column. So the modification is for many things. You want to increase the length of a column. So you have an employee name. which is of length 50. Tomorrow you understood that, okay, you may have employees who exist with bigger names. So you can increase the length of it using alter.
Okay.
So now to the table I want to make employee ID as primary key. How to change? As in, how can I say employee ID is primary key?
Sorry, I'm
Do you
not
know?
getting you.
I want to make employee ID as a primary key.
Okay. You have to make. No, actually, while creating, I know how to do that. But once you have it, how do you make? I don't know.
Same thing. Alter
Table.
employee add.
Oh, just give the constraint. Okay.
Add primary key, and then you need to specify the name.
Okay.
Primary spelling is wrong.
Okay.
So by default now I can use drop. I can say drop primary key. When I need not specify the column, drop primary key, it will drop.
Okay.
But I can specify the name also. Add constraint, name of the constraint. So you are giving a valid name to the primary key now. You understood?
Okay.
So that
Yes.
what happens is you can drop the constraint with the name of it.
Okay.
Now there is no primary key.
Yes.
You understood?
Yes.
So if you don't specify the name of the constraint, it takes its own name, some sequence
Okay.
number, system defined name.
Okay.
So we added a primary key constraint. So what is primary key? What is a primary key?
Primary key. Primary key uniquely identifies a certain row in a given table. It should not be null value. It should not have null value.
Exactly. So by default, I am not specifying any value, which means it is assumed to take null. Cannot insert null into.
Okay.
Employee and employee ID. If I specify, it will go through.
Okay.
And another thing, unique value. Let's suppose I already have one, I believe. If I try to add one again, it will say unique constraint, not null. You see the constraint got changed?
Yes.
You understood now how to add a primary constraint, how to drop the constraint?
Yes.
Perfect. So, what is the difference between primary key constraint and unique key constraint?
Unique key constraint can accept null value, but not the primary key constraint.
Perfect. You need not even specify a drop primary key. Table name you need to specify. So what I will do is add constraint Add constraint unique key of missing left parenthesis. I need not specify unique. Only primary key you need to specify key. Unique it will. Now you see. So we have one.
Yes.
We have a data one already. If you try to insert unique key constraint. If I try to insert 2, it will take. If I try to insert 2 again, it will say unique constraint.
Okay.
If I insert 200, it will take. If I try to send null value, it will take. How many times you send, it will take.
Okay.
Null value, it will not see only one time. You don't think, okay, null value can be accepted one time.
Okay.
You think that, okay, unique constraint means null also should be only once. No, no. Null can be any number of times.
Okay.
You see, these are nulls. Null can be any number of times.
Okay.
So we have discussed about constraints also. So what is the difference between primary key and foreign key?
Primary key will be found in the parent table and the foreign key will be in the child table. It is it refers back to the child table refers back to the parent table using the primary key, which is a foreign key, which is a primary key in the parent table.
Exactly. Right. Dependence. Dependent ID, I'm saying. Here itself you can specify. You have never used default. Huh? Hello?
No, I never used default like this.
So nothing is there. What I can do is add foreign key on employee ID references which table? Employee. Table altered, which means you are creating a foreign key constraint from dependent table to employee table. So now, what values can dependent table employee ID holds? What values do you think that I will open you the data from employee ID? Sorry, employee. Actually, one more thing I need to do. So let me delete the data where it is null. So you should not have any data nulls.
Okay.
So now you have these values. So now you say me which values can be present in your dependent table employee ID column.
It's 201, 2. Only 3 rows will be.
3 values. Think only 3 values.
Yes, of course, because we didn't say any column name for the dependent, right?
Okay. I'll give you one more scenario.
Okay.
Inserted. Inserted something different from what did not exist in parent table.
Is
It can accept nulls. Your foreign key can be nulls.
okay.
But it cannot hold anything other than what is present. Null, it can be either null or it can be any of the values from the parent table, but it cannot have any value which is not present in parent table. Let's suppose if I try to insert into dependent EMP-ID values some 3, it will say parent not found. Parent key not found.
Yes. Okay.
So this is foreign constraint.
So you're saying like a 3 should be in a parent table so that you can insert that value into the child table.
Correct.
Okay.
It
Okay.
can be null, but you should not use any other value other than what is present in the parent table or null.
Okay. Okay.
So what else? We have seen constraints. We have seen. We cannot say commit and rollback. I cannot explain here because these are auto committed. This session.
Okay.
What else is pending? Grants I cannot show you. Grants I have shown you while we have created table spaces in your.
Yeah, while we're creating the table. Yes.
So now what we can do is you do practice. So before I switch some topic and then explain, that's better. You practice on these things. If you have any doubts, just gather them. I will share the recording and the corresponding details.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Any questions in this session?
No, it's clear now. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
You too. Bye.